well, at least we think we can carry you through what you need
we
to
try.
know. There's a lot of ridiculous scenarios out there, and we've kind of gone through a couple of them, Charles. But the bottom of that pack is going to come down to a couple of different scenarios, and that's our first topic here on 3 and Out. It's prep playoffs and where people stand. We kind of just said Alamogordo with a win over Carlsbad, Hobbs with a win over Clovis would probably drop Cibola out of these playoffs, considering that Clovis has that win against Cibola.
Clovis is an interesting team for me because we were writing them off. We were saying, oh, well, Alamogordo's going to come in. They've been scoring all these points. I know I was. I was on the Alamogordo train for that district.
Yes,
and
we
the
both
wheels
were. And
have fallen off. Now, Clovis is in there pretty. That win over Cibola looks really big now.
Yes.
Now you're saying, oh, guys, all we have to do is beat Hobbs. Tough task because we do know that's a rivalry. It's going to be wild down there. But I still think Clovis.
I think Clovis is in regardless, right?
Because they got over the win over Cibola.
Yeah, and even if Cibola finishes with a better record, they're going to still, the committee will look at it and say, look, you lost head-to-head. Yep. Cibola, you don't have any good wins. How could Cibola get in? They won't, Charles. They're not going to get in only if Hobbs can win the district. And we told you how that has to happen. Alamogordo has to beat Carlsbad. Hobbs has to beat Clovis. If those two scenarios happen, Cibola.
I don't. But this is what I'm thinking. I can't write off Carlsbad because they've been so close.
I'm just saying that's what has to happen. Alamogordo.
So to me, what happens if Carlsbad beats Alamo? Alamo is struggling right now.
Then Hobbs can't.
It's a
win
three-way
the
tie, right?
No, because
no. If Hobbs wins.
Oh yes, and then
Hobbs wins.
So it is a three-way tie.
Yeah.
And so Hobbs has to pray in the tiebreaker that they finish above Carlsbad, because I'll tell you, Carlsbad's not getting in with just 2 wins.
No.
If Carlsbad wins, they'll only have 2 wins on the season. They're not getting in. So if they finish above Hobbs in that tiebreaker, they're not going to take Hobbs.
So Hobbs would have to beat.
It all starts with Hobbs having a win. They've got to beat
by a good amount of points.
And there's a 13-point rule between the 3 games. It's just ridiculous how it works. I don't even want to get into the tiebreaker scenario.
I'm wondering why, because I have this strange feeling that it's going to come down there.
It could.
We were talking about that Manzano and Cibola game being canceled, like saying, oh, it might come down to the end of the season. Lo and behold, Manzano is sitting there saying.
I think they're in, right? Regardless
I think they're in.
A loss, but they have no wins.
When you really break it down, they don't.
And what we're doing basically is we're saying, okay, Manzano just has a lot of good losses. Yeah. That's how they're getting in. I mean, they've just lost to a lot of good teams. Let's think about it. Manzano's losses, they've lost to a lot of good teams, right? Manzano's lost to Mayfield. They've lost to Cleveland. They've lost to El Dorado. They've lost to Sandia.
But they beat Atrisco,
4
right?
4 losses. No, they haven't played Atrisco.
Sandia beat Atrisco, which is by default has kept them high, because Trisco being 7-3, they have an argument saying, "Hey, at least we have a better record than these guys."
That's what I'm saying. Those Manzano, all their losses are to good teams.
Yeah,
they just don't have any quality wins. Their biggest win is against Volcano Vista. You can't hang a lot on that, as Volcano Vista.
It was a good win.
3-7 on the season.
It was a good win at first.
At first it was, right, and then it just turned into nonsense. I mean, they have a win against West Mesa and Rio Grande, and it just doesn't do much.
I'm going out on a limb. I think Carlsbad is going to completely shake this thing up. They're going to get that win this weekend.
How about you save your projections, my friend?
I just want to say that's what I see what happens. I'm not going to predict everything else. I'm just saying Carlsbad is going to shake it up.
Okay, so that's where the bottom of those things stand. Tomorrow we'll talk about the top of them and scenarios of teams who will get a bye and how they can get a bye, and it really comes down to Rio Rancho and Cleveland.
And matchups.
Yeah,
right. If you're Cibola or one of those, if you're 10-11, you want to play a Clovis or a Sandia. You have to think that that's a more favorable matchup than playing some really explosive team that throws the ball around, got all these weapons. I'll take my chances against a Sandia who's going to ground and pound.
Even Oñate. I mean, you'd think Cibola, if they have to play Oñate, you'd think they would be okay with that, wouldn't they?
I think they'd absolutely be okay with that matchup.
So let's move on now here on 3 and Out. Some more friendly debate, Charles, and let's talk about some of the best performers. The uSports top performers of Week 10, and I'm just going to start it out because this is my guy, or I'm not going to let you
to.
take credit for my guy. That's Jesse Nieto, who's having just a wonderful season. 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
4 touchdowns. He
was
does
balling.
whatever he wants.
He was balling.
Okay, he does whatever he wants. Just give him the rock, get out of the way, and let him go. But, you know, it's a big credit also to Cleveland's offensive line. I think
Yes.
is the best in the state. Henry Hattis, they swing him around from left guard, and Jesse just runs right behind it and strolls wherever he wants.
He's going to cause
That's
problems.
why Cleveland is just a team I don't think anybody wants to match up in the postseason, because their offense and defensive line. So a big credit to them. But Jesse Nieto, 4 touchdowns. He had a monster game against Cibola. Who do you got?
Hattis is going to hurt someone in basketball season.
Yes.
I'm calling that. He is a load, but athletic. I like big guys who are athletic. Mine, I'm going to match your 4 touchdowns. Last game for my man out there, Domenico Chavez, 4 touchdowns. Also, he had a great career out there for Volcano Vista. Unfortunately, they didn't have the season that they wanted. Domenico, it's okay, brother. I know you're going to play somewhere else.
Next level. He's next level. I think he can go to a D2 somewhere and play some more football. And I love the way he runs. Since he's been a sophomore, he's been an anchor for Volcano Vista. So I'm going to agree with you, Charles. What a fantastic career he has had in the high school sports world.
Unfortunately, he's playing with a team where they're junior heavy. They're going to be a problem next year. They're junior heavy. He's the senior. He's trying to do everything. Him and what's the big guy they have?
Barton.
Yeah. So they got some guys.
Trujillo.
They got some guys that had great careers there.
Trio going to go to New Mexico State, so he'll continue to play.
got?
Look, I'm going to go, another step, because you refuse to give this guy credit.
I finally
this year.
put him on my list.
Zach Gentry, 4 all-purpose touchdowns. He had 2 passing, 2 running. Really didn't have to do much, to be honest with you. I mean, he did whatever he wanted. Look, you need to, one of these days when we get Zach Gentry on the show, and we will.
I gave him
You're
credit.
going to have to apologize to him, and he's going to be looking down at you because he's like 9 feet tall. And he's going to flex at you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, he will look down on you. I'm a little taller than you, so it's not that bad.
You're an inch taller than me, Zach Gentry.
He had a great game. I got him on my notes, but you know who I got on my notes? Tossing touchdowns and running touchdowns. Ricky Alvidrez. He had a great game.
Ricky's
man,
always
200 yards.
having a good game, right?
This is who I want to talk about there. They're line. So, Avidrez had 200 yards rushing. Bean had 100 yards rushing. Grice had 100 yards rushing. So someone is blocking up front.
Just know that I called that Ricky Alvidrez would have 200 yards rushing. Know that I called that.
I think I called that too.
Rewind the tape. More friendly debate when we come back.
Terrible.
uSports
I'm looking
Central.
at my notes. I don't see that in my notes. Adam.